Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. In this week's Parsha, and Parshas Toldos, in the beginning, there is the discussion how Yaakov buys the Bechira from Esav, and many Mefarshim have a question of how Yaakov did it, and there's many questions that may be asked, and I'd like to explain the Pirush, the explanation the Ran interprets in this discussion, which is a beautiful discussion. And the pasuk says like this: Vayomer Esav o Yaakov. Esav came home hungry, tired from a busy, disgusting day. And Esav says to Yaakov, he sees that Yaakov made a bowl of lentil soup, a nice meal. And Esav says to Yaakov, Haliteni no mina odaim odaim hazeh, please pour it down. It was very not idle a way of saying it also. Please give me some of that red food. Ki oyef anoichi, because I'm tired. But Yomer Yaakov, and Yaakov says, would you sell me your firstborn rights? So the Ran asks the obvious question. He asks many questions, but his questions are beautifully set. Number one, come on. We're talking about Yaakov, and let's put it in the terms of Edelkeit. Yaakov is Midas Ha'emes. You know, Avram is Chesed, Yitzchak is Gvura, Yaakov is Emes. It seems to be a scam, this whole business when a guy is tired, a guy is hungry, and you put him against the wall. Let me buy off your bechor. The guy is hungry. This is the way to do business. So the Ran says, Ein zeh min haroi lechacham. It's not proper for a chacham to wait for. If Yaakov really felt that the bechor is so important for him to get, why wait for such an opportunity? Why didn't he, early on in many years, sit down and negotiate with this guy Esav and say, Esav, Bechor doesn't mean anything to you. For me, it means something. Let's negotiate. Let's do something. Number two, says the Ran. Why, as a man like Yaakov, why does even Yaakov want something that he doesn't deserve? Yaakov is not the Bechor. Yaakov was not born the Bechor. It's pasnish for Yaakov to want something that's not his. If Esav is the Bechor, let him get it. And he builds up a bunch of questions like that. Number three says that Lo yira, it's not right that Yaakov should I don't want to use the word scam, should trick Esav to give away something like this for something so cheap. And when I see people interpret this Ran, they say, imagine somebody who's losing his mind, and he's old, and he's sick, and he has a luxury apartment, and the guy is very hungry, and you tell him, listen, you want to have a sandwich? I'll give you the sandwich. Sign off your luxury apartment. It's a scam. So it's a pasnish for Yaakov to do this. Let's really understand what's going on here. This is basically the question that the Ran asks. So the Ran says, let me explain the insight of what took place here between Yaakov and Esav. What happened that day was like this. Remember, Avram Avinu passed away. It's the day Avram Avinu passed away. Lahavdil Elef Alftei Avdalis, the same day as Avram Avinu passes away, Nimrod was killed at that day. Esav killed Nimrod. Because as Kedusha falls, Klipa falls. Chazal say that when Avram Avinu passed away from this world, this is what the Yalkut Shemaini says, Amdu kol gedaylo umas ha'olam, all, even the goyim, stood online And they said, Oi, Layla, Oilam she'ibad man higay. Very is the world lost its leader. The boat lost its captain. We must go to the Levaya, we must go to the funeral to show honor and respect to Avraham Avinu. All right? So everybody's coming to the funeral of Avraham Avinu. Everybody is coming. Slow down. Everybody's coming. Avraham Avinu has two sons, Yitzchak and Yishmael. Avraham Avinu has two sons. There are also grandchildren, Yaakov and Esav. So Yaakov is told about the news. Where's Yaakov? In the Beis Medrash. You told Yaakov, Ishtam Yosef Aholim, that his grandfather passes away, Nebuch. He comes to the Levaya. But where is the other grandchild? Where is that troublemaker grandchild? The Esav. He's out hunting. He's a 15-year-old troublemaker. And that 15-year-old troublemaker, we're looking for him. You can't find him. This is all what the Ram's saying. You can't. They're looking and looking and looking for the troublemaker Esav, and you can't find him. But you can't wait. It's not today's time where there's a telephone, an instant message, a text. You can't find him. To wait, make everybody wait for that grandchild, you can't. So this is the words of the Ran. So the Ran says, his asek besoda, the Esav, the grandchild, was busy in the field with his mishugais and with his nonsense. He kept on doing his crazy stuff in the field, catching animals and all those crazy stuff. And they couldn't wait for him to come. All the great people were showing honor and respect by the Levaya of Avraham Avinu. All right? So Esav misses the funeral. They come back after the funeral, after Levaya. Yitzchak is sitting Shiva. And everything, Yaakov is showing respect by cooking up. Everybody's broken-hearted about the Levaya and the funeral, and Yaakov is cooking the lentils as Sudas Havrah and all this, and suddenly Esav pops up. Esav pops up, and the pasuk says, "Oh, he's tired. He had a day of hunting." And Chazal tell us, the Medrash says, what's he tired about? Horages nefesh. Not only he was hunting, he killed somebody on the way too. He comes in, he sees everybody there, he says, what's going on? He sees what's going on, they tell him what's going on. He's not interested in all that. I'm hungry. That's what's on his mind. What's not on his mind, my Zayda Avraham Avinu. It's not on his mind, what's going to be with the world, what's going to be with Eibishter, what's going to be with the tradition. I'm hungry. So Yaakov says to himself, that's where this our family is heading. That's where Avram Yitzchak is heading. Our family is heading. The tradition is heading to a bechor. This is the bechor. I got to take it away from it. It's an embarrassment. The reason why Yaakov got involved to get it away is not because Yaakov wanted it for himself. He wanted to save the shame from Avram and Yitzchak. Avram and Yitzchak's fame. Avram and Yitzchak's good deeds. For a person saying, I'm hungry in a time like this, to save that shame. Yaakov says, I need that prayer to save that shame from Avram and Yitzchak.